gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rich Bulletins Uncut. I have my lovely co-host here, Miss Arica.
Hi.
And I have my lovely guest here, Miss Tisha, Renee. And of course, your lovely host, ArionMonay, myself. Today, we will be talking about postpartum and how it affects moms and families as well. And Miss Tisha Renee is going to be shedding some light on that and her experience with her postpartum as well. Her name is Miss Tisha Renee on all platforms. She is a serial entrepreneur, a God-fearing woman, and she's a lovely wife and a mother of 4 beautiful children. Let's give her a round of applause and welcome to Rich Bulletins. Woo!
I'm so excited to be here with you ladies. Beautiful.
Thank you. You are beautiful too.
Extremely beautiful, inside and out. So thank you for having me here, and thank you for shedding light on mental health awareness, because we do, as a community, take this issue lightly. Mm-hmm. So thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. How did you know that you had postpartum?
That's a good question. I didn't know.
Okay.
I was a young mom. I was 17 when I got pregnant and 18 when I gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I came across a at-home nurse, but I was at Bentab and I was assigned a nurse. So what this nurse did was she'd visit me every week or once a month during my pregnancy, and then every week after I gave birth. Mm-hmm. So one visit, she came and she was like, "Hey, Tisha, have you had any suicidal thoughts?" I don't know if she noticed a change in me. And I said, yeah, I did have a suicidal thought. Because at this point, when she asked me this, I was leaving my child's father. My baby was just 2 days old. Mm-hmm. And I made up in my mind that I was leaving him for good. So when she asked me this, she was like, have you thought about suicide? And I did, because I felt like a failure. Because when you have a baby, you feel like you're going to be with that dad for the rest of your, the baby's life. So I felt like a failure, and I felt like the world would be better off without me in it. Mm. So she was like, okay, well, do this. How about you go to your school? Because I was going to TSU at the time. Mm-hmm. And she said, go to TSU. They have a health center. Go there and get evaluated. Mm-hmm. So just my luck, I went to campus and I saw all these banners up about mental health awareness and come get evaluated and fill out a paper. Yeah. So I went to the table. I was like, hey, can you please evaluate me for mental health awareness? So they evaluated me. They found out that I had PTSD. I had anxiety. I had deep depression. And some of the signs are like either you losing too much weight at one time or you're gaining too much weight. You can't sleep or you sleeping too much. You get angry for no reason. You start losing interest in things you used to love to do. So it's a lot of things you can't see because you're in a situation, but people outside can see if they care about you. Right. So you have to surround yourself with people who can pinpoint those symptoms and tell you to get help or help you in the process. So that's how I found out I have postpartum depression.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. A lot of people don't want to open up and share that kind of thing. But I wanted to ask you, do you think that you had postpartum with all of your children?
Yes, I certainly did have postpartum with all my children. And since I got diagnosed with the first child, I started looking for signs with the other children. So from my oldest to my second child, they're 7 years apart. And I gave birth vaginally, no medicine. Mm-hmm. And he came out 10 pounds, 3.3 ounces. Ooh. So that was kind of traumatic in itself because the whole time I was screaming for epidural and they wouldn't give it to me. So I was screaming at the nurses, cussing them out, like, if you give me what I want, what I wanted now.
But I was saying this to you, like, you strong.
Right. Girl, I couldn't believe I did. There was this guy.
Every time it's the time of the month, I be feeling like I'm having a baby. So I understand. I be wanting to have a daughter.
So I knew then that I was angry, and they had to induce me because I was having high blood pressure. I had gained like 60 pounds during the pregnancy. So they had to induce me because if they didn't, then my child would have died because my blood pressure was so high. So I knew then that there was a traumatic experience, and that after I gave birth, I knew I was going to have some type of, downfall.
Right.
But of course, as soon as I gave birth, they released me because once you have a vaginal birth, the hospital, they do not keep you. They kick you out. They kicked me out. And so the whole time I was home, my husband was asleep. And I'm like, who pregnant? Like, who just had a baby? Like, you sleep. I need help. I can't take a shower. I got to feed this little munchkin every hour. I got to make sure he don't suffocate. I can't pee. I can't eat. I can't do anything. And so I was fussing at my husband, like, wake up. Like, I'm the one that should be asleep. Get up. And my mom came to visit. She wanted to take pictures. I said, no, don't take pictures. I'm hungry. Somebody feed me. Somebody hold him for me so I can at least pee. Like, I haven't peed in 3 days. Can somebody hold him? So I knew then that I was suffering from postpartum depression because I didn't have any help. And then just my luck, 5 days after I gave birth, my husband had to turn himself in to serve time because he didn't finish his community service. So again, on my own for the second child. The third child, baby girl, that was a rough pregnancy. My doctor told me, he gave me a date. He's like, oh, I'm going to take you in on this date. So I showed up, my bag's packed, like, take her out. He's like, no, tomorrow. I'm like, what? So I cried the whole night because I was just over being pregnant. And I knew then after I gave birth, I was going to have some downfalls. So, yeah, still no help. It's like people that's around you that don't know what you're experiencing, they don't know how to help you.
Right.
And so when you verbalize like, hey, can you wash the dishes? Can you feed me? Can you hold him for a day at the least?
Something.
Yeah, can you do something? And they don't know. They was like, oh, well, you breastfeed, you got to feed them. So you still need him or her. And you just feel alone, and you feel overwhelmed, and you feel overworked, and you feel tired, and you feel like, no, I didn't sign up for this. So, yeah. So, and then my last baby, he's 1 year old. I definitely suffered from postpartum depression with him because I was definitely alone. I had stopped talking to the dad. I had stopped talking to my friends because my baby shower wasn't what I want, what it was supposed to be for me. So I isolated myself with my son, and I just pushed everybody away. And again, on my own, nobody to feed me, nobody to hold him while I take a shower, So, I definitely experienced postpartum depression, but you have to identify it. Like, you're getting depressed, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you need to figure something out, you need to do something. So that's probably going to relate to your next question.
Are you seeking professional help?
Yes. So once I got diagnosed with postpartum depression the first time, like I said, I reached out to the mental health department at TSU. They diagnosed me, and she medicated me with Seroquel for sleeping, and then Prozac for mood swings. The Prozac, I couldn't take it because I feel like Seroquel was already enough. And taking Seroquel, I felt like a zombie. I was just walking around and just living life. I didn't have any emotions. I was just a zombie, walking around just like a machine, just doing stuff I'm supposed to do. Feed the baby, change the baby, put the clothes on the baby, go to school, go to work, come home and do it all over again. It was just I was
like you was a robot. Yeah.
And so I started finding other methods. Yeah, I was trying to find other methods outside of medication because medication wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I wanted to experience for myself and for my son. So I started seeking out herbals or which is
like the holistic way.
Yeah, like the regular way what people are saying. Because when I told my grandmother I was taking medicine, she's like, "Why are you taking that medicine? Just pray." Right? That's what our communities say when you're going through something. Just pray about it. And prayer, it works, but on its own time. It's not an immediate fix for what you need to get through the day.
Physical help.
Right. So then I started doing yoga. Yoga helped out a lot. Not only did it make me flexible for bedroom purposes, but but it shows you how to breathe.
Right.
Because living, you forget to breathe. That's the most important thing to do is breathe when you're going through anything, whether it's depression, life in general, grief, you have to breathe. So that's what yoga did for me. Exercising. Not only does it's good for your heart, but also when you look physically fit, you feel confident in yourself. And then doing what you love, doing what always made you happy, whether it's reading. Me, it was playing bingo, gambling. I love to gamble. I'm from Louisiana.
I want to go play bingo. So
I'm going to take y'all.
I'm a bingo friend.
Yeah, I'm a bingo connoisseur in these streets. Y'all know me.
I want to play some bingo so bad.
Me too. I'm going to take y'all. I promise. I'm going to take y'all. They got morning bingo. They got overnight bingo. They got weekend bingo. So bingo is it for me. That's my go-to anytime I'm sad, depressed. Yes, you do. I think one time I came out with a couple thousands from playing bingo, and I probably only spent about $100, and I came out with a couple thousand.
I need a little couple thousand.
Yeah. Anybody need a couple thousand? But it's the adrenaline you get, especially when you see your last ball, and you dive it, and you like bingo. It's the adrenaline that gets you happy.
And the achievement.
Yes, right. You could walk out and you could buy something, but or pay a bill.
But not only that, like because you are in the depression, that achievement makes you feel like, hey, I want something. You conquered something.
Right. And you are completely right, because I think another reason why I was depressed with my first child, because I had him young. I got pregnant young. So I had a lot of family members say, she's going to be on welfare for the rest of her life. She's not going to graduate college. Yeah. So you feel like a failure, and you feel like, don't nobody believe in me. Everybody's giving up on me. So why don't I just give up on myself? So that contributes to your depression, because you have no support. Yes. You feel like you failed everybody, and you just don't have anybody to lean on because they think otherwise.
At 14, so just imagine.
Wow. Yes. You was looked at.
But I found a school in Baltimore where I'm from, and it was called Penguin.
Wow.
And it was for pregnant young girls. Okay. So I was the only teenager in Baltimore
that was pregnant.
Right. Yes, but I didn't want to be in the school, in regular middle school, around everybody else. I felt like I was being selfish.
Yes.
To the other young girls, because I didn't want them to be like,
that's cool.
I can go do the same thing. I can go have a baby like Erica, because I was Miss Popular, so everybody wanted to hang out with me. So I just was like, I found the school. Let's go talk to the counselor at the school, and let's get me over here so I can learn about my baby.
Yeah, and that's real big of you, for you to think about your community and your surrounding and your peers, because monkey see, monkey do, right? So that's very big of you.
But a lot of people look down on me. They told me I wasn't going to go to school. I was going to be a bum.
Yes.
I was going to be this and I was going to be that. Wow. I went to that pregnant school with hundreds of girls.
Okay.
My age and a little bit older. And they saw that you know, once you was doing good in that school, you had your baby. I put myself, I wanted to take the test to go to Mervo. Because you got to take a test to be in the school.
So you got to test out.
So I tested, passed the test, and I went to Mervo. But I was already, you know, had my son. My son was 1 year old.
Wow, kudos to you for keep on pushing.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to circle back around this question too. Well, it wasn't a question, but I'm going to make it into a question because it's important.
Yes.
Y'all are two mothers that kind of sort of came from the same background. Y'all both are successful women,
Yes,
mothers, and y'all both had the same similar experience as being moms at young ages. And a lot of parents look down on their children and shun upon them.
Yes.
And we're going to circle back.
Yeah, my mom was very mad with me.
Yeah.
She was one of those people that kind of was like, you're not going to go anywhere. You know?
Yeah.
You're having a baby. You're so young. You're growing in your life.
Yes.
Well, what could I do?
It was already, the damage was already done.
Yeah.
And I won't even say damage because I am blessed to have my 13-year-old son, and I wouldn't change my situation for the
My
world.
son is 33.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You did a good job, Mommy.
Thank you, so too.
Thank you.
And you know what I noticed too? Us young parents, we are some really good parents.
Yeah, we some rock stars, yeah.
Because we
learn.
started,
Mm-hmm.
some of us.
Yeah.
But most of the women that have met that was teen parents, they have done an exceptional job with raising their children.
And I think what it is that driving motivation to prove other people wrong. Because so many people doubt you, so many people look down on you. You have to you have to redeem yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you want to make yourself proud, but you want to make your child proud.
Exactly.
You don't want them to feel like they're a burden.
About my son for me.
Yes.
Because I never really cared about.
Yes, and I feel like my son is a saving grace because without him, I probably still would have been running the streets, running behind nappy head little boys, running around girls who didn't care about me, was only jealous of me and wanted to put me in certain situations. So, yes.
A whole lot of things. So my son, I feel like he saved my life too. Because growing up in the streets of Baltimore, you never know where
Might end up.
Yeah. You know, it's a really, I love my city, but it's a really hard place to live.
Right.
So kudos to Oscar.
I know, good job.
And I'm not ashamed to tell nobody, yes, I was 14 when I had my son.
There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you keep pushing, keep going, you make a name for yourself, and you show your son the example of what you want him to be.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I showed you him tonight.
Yes, you did.
He is an awesome guy, awesome father. Everything that I did as a parent, he reciprocating in his children.
That's good.
And excels.
And that's all us as parents can ask for.
Mm-hmm.
It's for you to be a better version of me.
Yep. So what you want to say, Miss?
So,
because we over here connecting them
right.
It's okay. It is okay.
We healing over here.
Right. I just love the fact that y'all both come from the same type of environment, because I know in Louisiana, it's kind of like Baltimore. They make resources hard to obtain.
It's not like Texas.
Right.
Texas is
it's a little bit easier.
No. And I'm a firsthand.
Well, from what we see, but you might
You've been here for a while.
So yes, and I actually have my son here at Park Plaza Hospital, which is close to the Children's Museum downtown.
Okay.
So my oldest son was born here. And so what happened was everybody told me, apply for housing, apply for food stamps, apply for TANF, apply for this, apply for that. So I'm like, okay, let me apply. So I applied for housing. They was like, okay, we're going to put you on a waiting list. I'm like, okay, cool.
I've always got no's with assistance. No.
Right. Yes.
Why everybody else getting it?
Same here. So I applied for a food stamp. They was like, you're in college, but do you work? If you work, how much do you make? You make over the threshold. You're only supposed to make $20,000 a year. But since you're a college student, we can get about $100 a month to help you with food. WIC, now that's easy to get in Texas. That's easy. And what WIC provides is milk, whether it's formula, whether it's baby food, whether it's vegetables, but they only last up to 5 years. After 5 years, no more assistance for your child.
Well, so we can rule out Texas as well. Texas is hard too. So, in Louisiana, the background of, you got people that excel, you got people that don't excel. Same in Baltimore, you got the people that excel, people don't excel.
Right.
And your environment is a very strong influence.
Yes.
So for y'all women to come from the same similar type of backgrounds and to be the successful women that y'all are and to be proud moms. People love to say that I'm a mom or I'm a mother, but they're not proud of that.
Right. Proud.
And y'all are super proud.
Yes.
And I love to see that. I'm not a mom yet, but I hope when my time comes that I'll be as proud as y'all.
I'm pretty sure you have a great role model. So there's no doubt in this world that you would not be mother of the year.
Thank you.
And it's crazy because the other day, me and my oldest son had a bonding moment, which was taking him to school and meeting with all his teachers. He had 7 periods. He's in middle school, which is different from me. I never experienced.
You know what I'm saying?
I never had a child that had to go to 7 classes before. So to walk with him to each class and to ask each teacher how my son is doing was a pretty proud moment for me. And so I asked my son, I said, Jacoby, I said, how would you rate me as a mother? And he said, a 10. Oh. I'm like, what? Really? Me? A 10? He was like, yes. He was like, it's a 10. I was like, well, I feel like, I could be better as a mother. I'm very hard on myself. But I said, I do the best I can with what I have. And I'm glad that you are accepting that and you appreciate it. So it was a real proud moment for my son to rate me a 10 out of 10.
So for me to add on to everything with her.
Oh, wow.
Like, yep.
Why is your mother here?
So this is the backstory on why my mom came. So my teacher,
but we have a lot in common.
Yes,
right.
So my teacher, she didn't quite understand.
But I think I know why. And I'm gonna let her.
Yeah. My teacher, she didn't quite understand why I didn't like her period.
Okay.
And I told her several times, I have excelled in this. I already learned this in Baltimore.
Okay.
So me doing this again is annoying.
Right.
Because I already did this.
Yeah.
Right. And every time that you give me homework and tests, I pass them.
Right.
And she used to kind of get frustrated with me because she'd give it to me. I look through it, skim through it, and I'll be like, okay, I know what I'm working with and answer my questions accordingly based upon how the question is answered. If it's multi-choice or if I have to fill it out.
Any question.
Right. So I used to fill it out and within maybe 1 or 2 minutes and hand it back to her.
Oh, wow.
And I used to ask her, I'm like, can I go to my practice now? Like,
you was over it.
Yeah, like I don't want to be in here.
Right.
So she came to my school because she felt like I was being nonchalant. Okay. That I was a nonchalant athlete and didn't want to be in her class. And I'm like, no, that's not what it is. I learned this. Right. And I don't want to be in here because I already learned this. I don't want to be in an area where I have already learned something.
Where you excel.
That I excelled at. And I keep showing you that I can excel in this. And you keep asking me, well, you're making everybody else look bad.
That sounds like something right going on in your life right now.
So my mom came to the school is because she called my mom and explained all of this to her. And my mom was like, okay, I'm going to come up there.
Right.
She came. And a lot of people don't think that children are not close with their parents. Like, they're trying to, some people be like, oh, your son doesn't act like this when you're not around.
Right.
My mom can literally state, oh, I know how Arion act.
Yes.
Arion that said that to you is because you done rubbed her the wrong way. So, for them to see that my mom cares and that my mom stayed all the way until lunch. My mom was eating the little square pizza with me and everything.
She was eating the struggle meals with you.
Yeah. She came to my track period and my coach Camp, I ran track and field. So she didn't like, my coaches didn't like that my mother was there, especially.
I was roughing
okay.
Yeah, especially not Mr. Donovan. He had a problem with my mother. He gonna say, oh man, you can't be in here. You don't look like a high school student. So anyway.
Just picking.
But I'm getting there. Okay. So my teachers were able to see my mom, how she has molded me into the person that I am. Okay. And they were able to take some of their experience with their children and to help better mold their kids as well because of her being there.
Okay.
And
then
then
people were saying, like, I wish my mama would come.
Yeah.
I wish my mama would come. My mama, oh, she went to school, like she got a day. She works, she busy, this, that, and other.
Wow.
But the reason why I like to go and check on my children in high school, because I don't want them to think that, oh, I'm in high school, I can run them up.
Okay.
right.
Makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense.
And then, I want to see how things going.
Okay.
I want to see how you talking to my child, how throughout all of my children's schools, I've been present.
Present. Okay.
Yep.
Present. The principal near me, they near me. Oh, Miss Charity coming.
Right.
Y'all better get it together because she coming. She don't play. But I try to make sure I did what I didn't receive because my mom was a homemaker.
Right.
So she had to be home preparing meals, this, that, and other. And they taught us back in the 70s to pretty much
Be the same.
No, but kind of just be responsible and on your own. Learn on your own, kind of.
Yeah. And I had the same upbringing, but my mom, instead of being a homemaker, she was a worker, or she was working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. So I didn't have that presence in school with me, and I aspire. And thank you for, I appreciate this conversation because my son would never be too old for me to show up. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from this conversation. So yes, he's in middle school. Yes, I showed up, but I could even show up in high school. And I could even take it a step farther and I could show up in college. Like, what's going on?
Because you don't know. You see all of these things happening on campus.
Yes.
And girl, we look good. They think we students.
Right.
But,
we the hot mom.
But she's much younger than me. But anyway, they would never think, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
That you are too old to be on campus, basically, or be too old to be in.
To be
your
present in your child's life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I really don't care about what people think when it comes to caring for my children.
Amen.
My children.
Amen. I think that's the principle of depression is people get so caught up in what other people say or what other people think that they wrap their mind around, oh, I got to do this for this person, or I got to do this because this is what this person want me to do. No, that's the first step of getting into depression because you're trying to please other people instead of pleasing or making yourself happy.
Yep, and that's what I'm fighting with right now. Yep, I think that I'm always supposed to people please everybody that comes, not even come to my threshold. That they be like, oh, do I like what I see? Let me go knock on her door. I be like, yes, what do you need? You need sugar?
Right.
You need your cake?
Okay, Charity's concierge.
Okay. I'll be ready. Like
You be ready to bend over backwards, and then it'll backfire in the end. That's what usually happens. You bend over backwards for people or for jobs or for whatever, and you always get the short end of the stick, and that what leads to depression.
Yep.
Because you're giving something or somebody everything that you have, and it's not reciprocated, and then you're left with nothing.
What you
Love
said?
that cup.
Yep.
Keep pouring into the cup. You gotta pour it out or put it in your mouth. One of the two.
Yep.
But to go back to my mom, also when I was a teenager, because when I said she was a homemaker when I was younger. But when I became a teenager, she really was busy working and, going to school and things of that nature. So I had to really
Step up.
raise myself. I taught myself how to cook.
Yes.
All of that. So, yeah. Cook,
And
iron, sew the clothes.
And that's another part of depression. Once you have a childhood where you can't be a child, or you have to experience adult things while you're a child, that also eventually turns into depression.
I don't deny that at all.
You have to be
I
mindful.
don't take nothing away from my mom,
Right.
Because she only could do what she could do. She
Right.
was a single parent.
Right.
But I'm just saying that's why I'm so involved
Yes.
in my children's lives, because the things that I missed with my parents, I give to them.
Yes. And that's the thing we need to do is break generational curse. Just because your mama did it, don't mean you do it.
Yeah.
If you know your parents are lacking in certain areas, please educate yourself and step it up so you could be the best parent you could be to your child. No, you're not going to be perfect. It's no parent handbook to show you how to be a parent, but please don't make the same mistakes that your parents made.
Yep. And I tell everybody,
Check on your children.
Yes.
when I was a big sister, in high
The
school,
teacher is not the parent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
when I was a big sister in high school, I used to always tell my little sister or my little brother that when my coach used to tell me, practice do not make perfect. It makes improvements.
Okay.
It doesn't make perfection. It makes improvements.
I like that.
Because no one is perfect. You're never, ever going to be perfect.
Never.
You only can build off of your foundation of what you have.
Yes.
You can only improve that to be a better you. That's all you can do is be a better you. Put your best foot forward. And that's that.
Between 10 to 20% of new moms experience postpartum depression after giving birth. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have a friend, a family member, a cousin, an auntie, an uncle, or somebody having a baby, please check on them. Please try to do what you can, whether bring them a hot meal, whether come hold the baby for 10 minutes so they could pee or shower or whatever.
Birth the baby.
Yes, yes.
We had cloth diapers when I had my first. I bought Loves, but I'm just saying. No, they really had in the hospital cloth diapers with this.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was like,
Don't tell your age. Don't tell you.
It's okay. I'm November 2nd.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Yes, please check on your loved ones. It don't even have to be a new mom. It could just be a person in general. If you see them losing weight, if you see them gaining weight, if you see them not interested, if you see them isolating themselves, if they're not calling you, if they're just like none and void, just check on your people. What it was last week, a girl, Shay Room posted it. She committed suicide. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yes.
Just check on your people. If you can't help them, send them somewhere that can help. Also counseling. You see somebody need help, refer them to a counselor.
Google it. And pull up the information for them. Because sometimes when people are suffering with depression, that procrastination is part of the depression.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So they won't look for information. So you may have to look for the information to get it to them.
Even if you gotta drag them, like trick them, like, hey, get in the car, we about to go eat. You take them to a counselor. Do that. Do that. It's very important.
Yes. It's a very touchy subject in the community of minorities about depression, postpartum. A lot of people don't think that minorities have these problems or these issues. A lot of people just think that minorities are the top of the food chain and that we got it together. No, we're human beings. We break down too.
A lot of us suffer in silence.
Yep.
Yes.
A lot.
We were raised that way.
Yes.
Yep.
Because
like we said the other day, I don't mean to cut you off. But you would get a whipping and your parents take you, shut up.
Yeah.
Why they whipping you?
Or they hit you with the favor one. Oh, you crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Like I'm already crying because of you.
But they want you to shut up while they beating you.
right.
So that's suffering in silence to me.
Yes. Yes. And also if they don't tell you to suck it up, buttercup, they'll throw a Bible at you. Oh, read the Bible, read Psalms this or David this or 1 Corinthians this, like
sometimes a child just wants somebody to listen.
Yes. And you know what too?
Or a person or just anybody.
What I found out, people cry for help in different ways.
Yep.
So whether you have a child that's just throwing a tantrum, throwing a book, slamming doors, just failing in school, they're crying out for help.
Yeah. Find out what's wrong.
Yes.
Get them some help.
Yes.
Get them some help. Or you try to help your child.
Yes.
The best way you can. But there's a lot of information out here. Nowadays, we got the smartphones. So
Right. And talk to your child. You guys know from parenting experience, from a friend aspect. I have had a lot of friends say, I love that you're able to talk to your mom.
Right.
And my dad, he's no longer here. But I was able to speak with him too about my problems and my issues. And he would let me know, like, this is what I endured. He wasn't the best explainer. But he would say,
tried.
Yeah, he said, look, I grew up like this. And the moral of the story is that I understand what you're going through, and I hope that he would
break it down.
He would break it down, but how his life was,
Right.
and wanted me to read in between the lines,
Right.
And he tried his best, even with my mom. Like, some things, when I come to her and I speak to her about certain things, some things she can't really dive into and really tell me. She has to give a life experience or say, Ariana, I ain't never experienced that before. But all I can tell you is that I have been through a lot of stuff, and I'm still here. I'm still a mother to all my children. My oldest brother is 33. And she's still a mom to him. She's a grandma as well to her grandchildren. And I'm the baby, so I definitely act like the baby. And I feel like Mommy.
And I'm pretty sure she don't mind. She's loving every minute of it, because once she get wiped up, then, you know, it's going to be your husband's job. But I'm pretty sure she's soaking it up.
He better be prepared.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
But
she's a good woman, though.
Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last November to February, I lost 2 people back to back, my uncle and then my cousin. And I felt this, like I told y'all earlier, I had this big old cloud of just darkness over me, and I didn't know which way to turn. I tried prayer, I tried exercise, and I tried yoga. Like, all the things I normally tried was not working. And I'm blessed to say I do have a couple people in my corner where I could call and cry. And they will be like, Tisha, just take all your kids, lay in the bed, get you some rest, you tired. But before you do that, let me pray for you. Let me pray over you. And that's all you need sometimes, is somebody just to pray over you, somebody to listen to you, somebody to hear you cry. So even if you can't take nobody to a counselor, or you can't buy nobody no food, just listen to them, let them cry. And even if you know a little prayer like, oh, God will never leave you or forsake you, just say that prayer, and it'll make them feel a whole lot better.
Yes.
So do what you can for somebody you love. And I want to shout out Myra Jackson. Thank you for praying for me when I couldn't pray for myself.
Thank you, Mom.
So, thank you.
So I do have another question.
Yes.
And you have kind of touched on it, but you can tell us again in a different way, I guess.
Okay.
But what interventions or coping strategies do you use?
Yes. And I can name some different strategies. Journaling helps. You can write down, they have a grateful journal out there, or you can make your own grateful journal. Write down 5 things you're grateful for, whether it's the food you ate today, whether it's the car you drive, and if you have a car, whether it's the roof over your head, whether it's the clothes on your back. Be grateful for something, because people always tell me it's somebody way off in a worse position than you are.
Yeah.
So be grateful for something. And that'll lift your spirits, because you are better off than some people. Also, talk to somebody. Find somebody that, you know, cares about you. Like, hey, you know, I had a rough day at work. I got fired. I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. You can just run off and then listen, like, it's okay. What you need me to do? I can help you look for a job. I can spice up your resume. Like, you need somebody in your corner. So if
Accountability.
if you have somebody in your corner, please reach out to them. They will, even if they laugh at you, like, girl, you tripping. It ain't that big of a deal. You're going to find you another job. Just, you know, just have somebody there for you. And like I said, do something you love, do something you like, whether it's reading, whether it's reading a book, whether it's traveling, even if you're going down we in Houston, whether we driving to San Antonio.
Right.
If you need to.
Galveston.
Right. Galveston, go on the beach, act like you're in Cancun somewhere, whatever you can afford. Just and what it does, it clears your mind. You're in a different mood. You're away from whatever environment you are in that's harmful to you. Just it's a lot of things you could do. But
what is like your go-to?
My go-to,
just your go-to intervention that you like to do that makes you feel better. You're going through your postpartum.
Yeah, so postpartum, meditate. So whether that's when your child is down for a nap, You turn off the light, you close your eyes, you think about the future, like what you want your future to be, how much money you want to make, what you want to do as far as working, career, whether you want to work from home, just to visualize something that you want to do. Or you can visualize being on the beach.
I seen your vision board, but go ahead.
Yes, you can.
I told you I pay attention.
Yes, I do have a vision board. I do. That helps. That makes me foresee the future. Right now, I always say I'm in between blessings. And God has something better for me. It may not be what He wants me to have right now, but I know in the future, with hard work, dedication, prayer, sacrifice,
and pressure.
Right, pressure, it'll all work out.
How do you think that postpartum has affected your family and your role as being a wife and a mother?
Yes, so postpartum depression affected me in multiple ways, whether it's with my career. I know some days when I was working in corporate, I wasn't my best. Especially when I was pregnant, I came to work with whatever shirt I could find because when you're gaining weight, you can't keep buying extra large or 2X t-shirts. Right. So I'm going to come to work with whatever I can fit. Now, if it's showing my stomach, I'm sorry. But I did the best I could. So with work, I know I was slacking. I was tired. I was sleepy. I wasn't as motivated. I was behind on my tasks. So I know work was suffering. But of course, I go outside for a walk if I'm feeling sleepy, walk around, a couple of blocks for lunch or walk up and down the stairs just to get my blood pumping, some motivation going. Like I gotta make this money because if I don't, who's going to feed my children? Because at that time, my husband was a stay-at-home dad because I was making more because I had a degree. So my husband had to stay home with the kids and I had to work. So I had whatever I could do to keep my job and to keep me motivated. That's what I did. I was also pursuing my my master's degree at the time. And I was working 2 jobs. So I was working at Randall's and I was working at Invesco, which was my corporate job. And then I was pursuing my master's degree. And it was to the point where I was bleeding. I was pregnant. I was bleeding. So I went to the emergency room and it was like, you're going to have a miscarriage. You're putting way too much on you than you could bear. So I had to make a choice between my child and my jobs. Right. So what I did was I quit Randall's. I put in my 2 weeks notice and then I quit my master's degree. And so I just focused on my corporate job, which eventually they hired me on full time, which was a good thing for my family. But sometimes you have to realize if you're putting too much on yourself, what you have to sacrifice. Do I want to sacrifice my child or do I want to sacrifice extra money? Right. So I sacrificed the money because I wanted my child here with me.
I can relate to that too.
Yes. And as far as my friends, I lost a lot of friends because, of course, you can't do what you want to do or you lose interest in a lot of things that you and your friends used to do. You and your friends used to travel together. We go out. We go to brunch, lunch, whatever. And I wasn't interested because that's one of the things with postpartum. You're not interested in doing things you used to do. So I lost a lot of friends along the way. Hopefully they hear this now. It was postpartum. I didn't push y'all away. No, I was going through something and I didn't know how to ask for help. I love y'all. I love y'all dearly and thank y'all. But I didn't know how to ask for help and I didn't know how to express what I was feeling because sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling. And I think you said that before in your first podcast. You don't know what you're feeling. So how can you express what you're feeling if you don't even know what, you're going through something, but you don't know what it feels. So you can't say, friend, like I'm depressed because you don't even know you're depressed. You just know something's off. So you tend to push people away and you don't mean to, and they just fall off the grid and they delete your number, whatever the case may be. Right. And that makes you appreciate the friends that do stick around.
I'm the friend that sticks around.
That do appreciate, you do appreciate the friends that do call you every 2 months to see, hey, Tisha, I'm just checking to see, I haven't heard from you. See how you doing? Oh, girl, I'm good. I just got blah, 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 all this going on. Oh, girl, I understand. I got this going on too. So you appreciate those friends because they don't push you to the side or they don't badmouth you. I haven't heard from you. Where you been?
Right.
Right. So
I'm a selfish friend. I'm sorry.
You admit you
I'm
know.
she loves the attention.
No, like I'm a selfish friend. Like I've been best friends with my best friend since the 3rd grade.
Oh God, y'all.
And that man has literally been through my hell, my triumphs, everything with me.
Right.
Because I have my days where I be like, don't call me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And he be like, okay, I ain't gonna call you then. Because, all right, so how me and him is, we kind of like bump heads because we're both earth signs.
Oh.
I'm a Taurus, he a Capricorn.
Okay.
So me and him, we like bump heads every now and again, but we get each other.
Okay.
So I tell him like, yo, leave me alone. And he'd catch on. And then he'd be like, oh, I understand. You was going through such and such. And then when he ready to have his moment,
They do understand each other.
I be all like, oh, so now you don't want to talk to me? Well, we best friends. I always pull out that call like,
You can't wait to use that.
I'm a selfish friend. And I have been working on that though with him because he's my best friend. Now, I've been knowing this man since the 3rd grade. How we became friends was because of me. Somebody stole his hat and I got it.
And I'm pretty sure you never let him live that down, right? He hears that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't remember how we became friends? It was because of me.
Yeah, and as far as other, aspects of my life, suffering my marriage, did suffer as well due to my postpartum depression because, like I said, I couldn't express what I needed. I couldn't express how I was feeling. So I push him away, don't talk to him for days, weeks at a time. Like, don't talk to me. I don't talk to you. You got me pregnant. I don't want to be pregnant. And then I got to give birth to these big head babies, and I don't want to do it. It hurts. So I take it out of him. It takes two, right?
Reality.
But of course, when you're going through a depression, you want to blame somebody for what you're going through. So yeah, I pushed him away a lot of times, and he stuck around. He probably, did what men do, but he stuck around, and I appreciate him for that. And that's when you learn how to communicate. Like, hey, babe, I'm tired. Take the baby for an hour, please. Like, I'll do some extra things for you, in return. But you have to communicate. You have to learn how to ask for help. People can't read your mind. I learned that in a marriage. Your husband cannot read your mind. Any relationship, yeah.
Those mountains don't get fed.
Right. So identify what you need and express that need to whoever is there for you.
Awesome. I think you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a great
Thank
job.
you. I try.
And I see you with the baby. So just give us a little quick introduction on your businesses. Because you're a serial entrepreneur.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. My business that I'm most proud of is FMC Financial and Tax Services. This business helped me retire from corporate 35 years early. So I'm no longer clocking in. I'm no longer, have to answer to somebody higher than me. I'm my own boss. And what my tax service does is we do tax preparation, we do credit repair, we do notary, we do business tax returns, the whole 9 yards. Whatever you need financial, I'm here to assist you. Also, I met these lovely ladies through R.B.U. We are all business partners together.
Yes.
That's how we met each other.
Cool coffee click.
Coffee click. If you're not in the click, you're missing out.
Right.
You got to breast luxury products at a reasonable price that you can enjoy, whether it's nutritional products, popcorn, whether it's supplements, sleep medicine, weight loss, whatever you need.
Vaginal care.
Whether it's feminine products, vaginal care, or vaginal wash, our Bali has it for you. So I'm pretty sure Ariane will have the links on this podcast for you. And you can also be our business partners because we want other women to be able to work from home and enjoy their children to the best of their abilities, because postpartum is being away from your child too as well. That's one of the symptoms. When you have to be torn away early, 6 weeks early or when your child's 6 weeks, you have to be torn away from your child. That brings on anxiety. You don't know what's going on with your child, whether they're in daycare, whether they're with a family member. The ability to work from home is fulfilling, and it, less stress.
For your family.
Right. So partner with us. We can help you make money from home. Whatever you need, we're here for you. So just reach out to us on all social media platforms. Whether you need somebody to talk to, whether you need a work from home ability, a job, whether you need, financial or tax assistance, if you need life insurance, because it's no GoFundMe.
Travel.
Yes, travel, eyelashes.
We do it all.
All you gotta do is ask, and I'm pretty sure we can all help you.
Yeah.
I already know somebody that can help you.
Right.
So,
and we those friends that will Google some stuff for you.
Right.
And fix your resume too. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to work a job, we can fix your resume. Like, we're here to help.
Yeah.
We're God sent. God put the gift of help in our heart, and that's what we want to do. So if you need any type of help, we're here to assist you.
Yes.
And like she said, I wanted to share this. Remember, I said I can relate to that and also when you said when you're being pulled away from your child.
Yes.
So for me, being as though I shared with y'all about my teen pregnancy, I had to start doing hair because I had to remember the nose.
Right.
No help from social services.
Right.
No housing.
Right.
None of that. So I had to start doing hair, and I had to be pulled away from my child at this young age. So I probably was suffering with postpartum too.
Right.
Yes. And the thing with that also, you may not recognize that you suffer from postpartum depression. And if it's left untreated, it can lead to deep depression. So if you're suffering from depression now, it's not too late to get help. It's not too late to try remedies, whether it's reading the Bible, whether it's exercising, whether it's meditating, whether it's yoga, whether it's reading, whether it's traveling, or doing something to make you happy. You can always address depression or postpartum depression, no matter what stage you are.
Right. I thank you for shedding light on postpartum depression, and thank you for shedding light as well, your experience. I want to know from your standpoint, as moms, I know when you give birth that the hospital takes your child like right in the there.
Yes.
Is that the time that it like started caring or postpartum? Like,
oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Because you just said something about, and I said something too about
Turn away from it.
yeah, like
it may start in the hospital.
So they take your baby, but they got to prick them in their feet, make your baby cry. They put stuff in their eyes, make your baby cry. It's anxiety. Right. It's anxiety because it's like your heart. They're not really harming your baby. They're doing what they're doing their protocol. But it feels like when they prick your baby for blood work or anything,
Just taking them to the nursery. I hated it.
Right. It brings you anxiety because you're like, oh, I can't protect my baby.
Yeah. You don't know you don't know who this
My baby is crying.
Yeah, and
I can't protect my baby.
Yeah. And you don't know who this person is that's coming to get your baby in a little plastic.
Right.
Talking about that. In a little plastic crib. Throwing your baby down the hall. And you bonding with this baby, so it may postpartum may start in the hospital.
right. And then
we just tapped into something.
right, and then y'all know, I don't know if it was a few years ago or something, but they had a lady that couldn't have children, and she used to dress up as a nurse and cut. Yeah, because you say you don't know who these people are.
Yeah, but what I can say about Texas, now look, y'all, I will never forget.
We're gonna be in a whole nother segment.
No, I'll make it quick. This
one. She always doing that.
This is when I gave birth to my 10-pound baby. Now, me and my husband, because when you give birth and you have a vaginal, they want you to walk so they could make sure they could kick you out.
Hold on.
So they want you to get up and walk immediately after you have your baby.
They did that in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Girl, that's probably where it started too. Anyway, so what I did was they put your baby in this little cart. So me and my husband
talk to some people at the hospital.
Yeah. So me and my husband got up, put the baby in the basket, and was walking up and down the hall with the baby. But we was talking, just walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we got close to the door, like the exit door, and we heard this beep, 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 beep.
Oh, yeah.
And then out of nowhere, we turned around and we saw two people come around the corner like they was security, like ready to tackle us because we got too close to the door with a baby.
Yeah, with the baby.
So hospitals do make it to where people can't snatch your baby. But like you said, they do have people that dress up as nurses. And they know the ins and outs of the hospital.
Somebody could have got fired and still got their old bag.
Right.
You just never know. But that's a good one, though, Ariana.
Yeah.
Maybe
we might come back for that one. But then you're looking on the outside of not being a parent. So you can see the small things that
they could trigger.
Yeah.
But I think the postpartum is starting
at the hospital.
Yeah.
Because number one, I know when you give birth to a child,
that's traumatic.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful and traumatic.
Yeah,
depending on how you give it.
Right. It's beautiful and traumatic. But at the same time, that's when a woman, it's your first time coming close to death.
Yes.
And for them to not have a better protocol after the child is being born, for the mother, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Because number one,
it's systematic. It's a system.
Yeah. I know, but that's terrible because if you're giving birth, right, your tissue down there are used to being a certain type of way. If you're first time mom, once you give birth, that canal opens up, that skin begins to break, bleeding, all of that stuff to happen, and they make you get up and start walking.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It is insane.
That's insane.
But they want you to get out because your money ain't that long.
Right. And then it's causing trauma to the body, too.
Yeah, you're not giving your body enough time to heal.
Yeah.
And then you got to go home and do all of those things you said. Somebody may not have a husband. Somebody may have a lazy husband.
Right.
You know, I was a single parent.
Future husband, you better not be lazy, okay? I don't want to walk. I don't want to talk. I need you to read my mind.
Right.
Everything.
But what I advise other women who's giving birth, like make sure you got your mother-in-law with you, your grandma, your mama. You need like 4 people in your corner at the same time. Trying to run your household and take care of your child. You need a lot of people in your corner. One person coming around every 2 days is not going to cut the job.
Well, one thing I can say, with all 3 of my babies, my mom,
she was there.
That's one thing I can say. I'd be asleep. The bottle be flopping out the baby mouth. She'd come, grab them, and go give them a bath.
Good for you.
Mom, she was definitely a proud grandma.
Somebody, people not that lucky. And I remember my mama telling me when I was pregnant, she said, whether you're a single mom, whether you're married, whether you're, whether you're making millions, whether you're making nothing, being a parent is hard.
Oh my God. I'm not a parent.
You don't stop being a parent.
I know. Listen, I know. I just said in the first part of the segment that I'll be quick to be the baby. Real quick. So I already know.
But never stop being a parent no matter how old they get.
Yeah. I know. From an auntie standpoint.
And from a baby standpoint.
Yes, the baby of the family. From an auntie standpoint, I definitely know that parenting doesn't stop because I have parenting my nieces and nephews as well, and they is hard. I don't know how to do that one.
Right.
They stubborn. Woo. They good children. Stubborn. I mean,
no matter what tax bracket you in, no matter what status, as far as household status, or single or married status, parenting, being a parent is hard. And my mother told me that.
My mom told me that too. But that's why they looked at us like that.
Yeah.
Like, look, I done already been through this.
Right.
And this is what you're going to go through. That's why I always, used to try to scare her,
You didn't really scare me.
But to me, it's my
She thought it was scary.
Yes. I thought I was scaring you not to have a baby at a young age.
Well, look, obviously she did a good job because you didn't have a baby.
Right. But she didn't. Thank you for me. Like, my mom, she never installed fear in me about anything.
And I think that's probably what worked.
Yeah.
Because,
But I feel like I was scaring it up. Girl, you gonna be broke. Girl, you gonna be this.
Right.
Girl, you know what I mean? Like, I just tried to be real with her.
Right.
Not saying that she gonna be broke, but I'm saying it's gonna be hard to take care of yourself and a baby at a young age.
Right.
Like I said, I had to start doing hair.
Right.
So at the age of 15, I was making some good money because I was very talented.
Right.
So, most people can't do that. Mm-hmm. They might have to just go straight to welfare. So I used to scare her with that kind of stuff.
Right.
You're going to be on social services.
Right.
But
But I didn't feel like she would scare me. I felt like, number one, my mom, she's her own being. Mm-hmm. And she still had to be my parent. So for her to tell me like, hey, daughter, this is what happened to me. This is how I got pregnant at a young age. This was my life experience. And I am the last generation from my mom. I'm the only girl. Right. So I'm the last generation of women.
Other than my grandgirls.
Right. I'm talking about from your direct line. Right.
From me.
I'm the last generation. And yes, I have nieces and nephews, and I have to show them, like, be an example. It doesn't matter what type of example. If other people think it's bad, it's still good because you're able to help somebody else. Yes. And my mom, she never put fear in me about anything. She used to tell me, like, Arion, I had my first child at this age, and if you follow my footsteps, you're gonna be in this situation. And it's going to be 10 times worse because you're a millennial. Right. They're making things even more harder in the 70s. Yes. In the 80s. So it's going to be even more hard for you to excel in this world. Right.
And y'all different beings anyway. Y'all don't have that's a whole nother show.
We don't know how to make stuff stretch.
But she has always enlightened me on all situations and all topics. And so did my father. He let me know, like, this is what goes on. Right. You go down this route, you make a cause, it's going to be a reaction. Right. Period. Cause and effect. Yeah. And I just thank my mom for being there to let me know, like, I was a young parent. And being as though I was a young parent, things were way harder than the average teen. Yes. I couldn't go outside and go party. I couldn't hang around my friends that I wanted to hang around because they were looking at me like, oh, you too fast or you too grown. Or their parents didn't want you to hang around them because you pregnant. Right. And I just thank her for letting me know that you follow these steps, you go down this route, this is the path, but I'm going to be there to support you. So that's why I don't feel like you put fear in me.
But even though all the girls used to be in my house with my friends over. Yeah. She said Erica had a whole house full of girls all the time. Erica was everybody's mother. Yeah.
So I think what it was she, not only did she educated you, but she supported you. So this is the pros and cons, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to support you with it, no matter what you do. Yeah. So I think that's what a lot of kids need to hear.
That's the true definition of parenting to me. To me, everybody parenting is different, but for her to tell me the cause and effect of things and
just being real. Yeah. Because a lot of parents lie. Our parents lie.
Yes.
I don't know about yours, but, the birds and the bees, good stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They ain't tell you the truth. They went around the cuff.
Yes, they did.
They ain't tell you that if you kiss the boy, they didn't tell you that if you kiss the boy, you're going to get pregnant.
No. Okay? They didn't tell you that the little seagull don't carry the baby. Right. They
didn't say that.
The seagull. He didn't call it a seagull.
And they didn't tell you that, your private part going to stretch to 10 centimeters.
Yeah.
They tell
you won't believe
it. Right. If you play 7-11 outside around the back.
Look, how to go get it.
That's a game that we used to play with.
High butterbean cookies.
Exactly. It wound up being something else.
Hide and go free.
Hide and go free.
Yeah.
But I was hide and go seek, but y'all might have came up. See, we was a little bit more modest.
Yeah, which
We probably changed a little bit. But we was a little bit.
Well, I knew about high
We
and
had
go.
7-Eleven.
Okay. See, I knew about high and go freak because I got 2 older brothers. So I used to listen to them talk about, yeah, we go high and go freak. I'm like, what is high and go freak?
you was thinking.
Yes. I'm like, what is that? And then the older I got, I said, that's what they was talking about, a little nasty. Yeah.
But let's get her takeaway because this young lady has been here with us for a while, and she got to get back to her beautiful family. Here's a beautiful family.
Yes,
She
thank
does.
you, thank you. But yeah, so my biggest takeaway is postpartum depression is real, especially with new moms. Depression is real within our community. So if you see any of the symptoms, any of the signs within yourself, within your family members, friends, whatever, please seek help, or solace in somebody, comfort in somebody, or something, whether you're spiritual, seek comfort and seek help because it only gets worse from there. It doesn't get better. Depression doesn't get better. Untreated, it only gets worse. So that's my biggest takeaway from that. And thank you for dropping some nuggets on me. I'm going to take it back and apply to my kids.
Oh, you're giving me
Always be assertive, always be involved, educate your children and support them. So that's my biggest takeaway from the conversation with you two ladies. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for sharing your family because you said some of your children's names. So
Yes.
we appreciate that. That means that it's personal. We're not doing nothing fake over here.
Right.
I want to thank both of you ladies for sharing your stories and acknowledging the fact that you do deal with postpartum depression. And based upon y'all experience, y'all are able to sit here and say, hey, I have this going on, but these are the things that I'm doing to fix it.
Yes.
And to let someone like myself that I'm well aware of my body. And you all have had those changes of your body changing, and to acknowledge that postpartum depression and postpartum period is there.
Yes.
Is there.
We think it started from
the hospital.
From our babies, but go ahead.
And to enlighten someone that's younger, that's a new mom, or about to be a mom, or thinking about being a parent, it's very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Thank you.
Very, very
So like we always say, this is my takeaway. Get professional help.
Yes.
Find a hobby. Find something fun. Go to bingo.
We're going to bingo.
Take long walks. But definitely talk. I know for me, when I'm feeling sad or I need to talk and let it out. So it's good to have somebody to talk to.
Yes.
And if you have nobody to talk to, seek a doctor.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My takeaway would have to be is
A lot of good stuff.
I know. My takeaway would have to be, if you are suffering with postpartum, to get someone in your corner. If you have any symptoms, as far as feeling depressed, mood swings, feeling like you're not attached to your child,
Isolate yourself.
right. Start to acknowledge it first and hit it head on, even if it is late, even if it's been 10 years, to acknowledge it so you can know how to move forward, because it might be affecting your husband, your wife, your child, your job, your mother, your friends, your family, everyone. So acknowledge it. And my personal thought about their experience, their life experience on postpartum depression, I honestly feel like it doesn't go away, because my mom is a grand lady and you are a grand lady as well. And y'all have children that have went to middle school, high school, and y'all still suffer with it. So I personally don't think that it goes away.
I just say when I was doing my research, because, nursing school, they don't, you touch on everything. Right. So, when I was going over more literature about postpartum, I was like, dang, I got those. So
you just learn how to manage it as time goes on.
Yeah. Yes. But some of us aren't strong.
Right.
Like you and I.
Right.
So the people that aren't strong just seek some help.
Yes.
Somebody.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to come back.
I know you gotta come back. You gotta come back.
You have to. And thank you so much for coming to Rich Bulletins Uncut. Okay.
And one more thing I gotta say.
Yes.
I'm very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you.
I'm very
proud of you as well.
And you keep being that great lady that
Thank
you are.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. So bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you soon.
It's all about finding your right state of mind. It's all about turning the worst into fine. It's all about time and the work.